Hi, I'm Casey, and I'm doing my persuasive speech over why parents should teach their toddler sign language. And to start off, sign language is rarely taught to toddlers because the parents work too much or they just don't want to teach it at all. When a child is not able to speak and tell a parent what they want, they become frustrated. In order to reduce a child's frustration, they need a way to communicate. And that way for him or her to communicate is sign language. Every parent needs to realize that the effects sign language can have are positive for both the child and the parent. In an article by Sue Stover Battelle, Better Than Baby Talk, she explains that she was teaching her daughter sign language for all the wrong reasons. To start the sign language process, her and her husband were learning a few signs and using them in their everyday life, and hoping that her daughter would do the same. She then started to do a little research, and her research started with Linda Arcoletto, PhD professor of psychology at the University of California. According to Arcoletto, the reasons to encourage signing with babies is not to raise the IQ or to speed up language development, she explains. Our research shows those things to happen, but they are not ethics. The real reason to encourage to sign is to enrich the parent-child relationship. And Arcoletto explains that in the second year of life, a child becomes more mobile. Yet he or she does not meet every goal, which causes a child to get frustrated more than they would in birth to the age of 1. Also, in Battelle's article, she explains that with signing, children had a clear understanding. Toddlers get frustrated when they want something but don't get it. Through signing, parents are able to understand what the child wants, which improves the child's self-esteem as well. When a child wants something and he doesn't get it, he will throw a fit. But if he can sign and tell a parent what he wants, the parent can give it to him or give the child other options. There are multiple issues sign language can help with. The parents just need to engage these actions. In addition to teaching children sign language without disabilities, sign language is also good to teach children with disabilities sign language. In a journal article, the use of argumentative and alternative communication methods with infants and toddlers with disabilities, a research review by Diane Branson and Marianne Dimchak, explains why it is important to teach a child with disability sign language and how it can benefit him or her. It is important to focus on AAC, argumentative and alternate communication, used with infants and toddlers because there is evidence that a child's early learning experiences during the first 3 years of life lay the foundation for later brain development, explains Branson and Dimchak. These experiences are provided by the child's caregiver, but the child may be lacking these experiences because the caregiver is unable to recognize and respond to the child's needs. By learning sign language, a child can make signs so that the child's caregiver is able to understand him or her easier. It is clear that AAC is used with infants and toddlers can be a critical component in early intervention. Better Than Baby Talk in the use of argumentative and alternative communication methods with infants and toddlers disabilities, a research review, both describe why it is important to teach a child sign language, whether the child has disabilities or not. Sign language can benefit both the parent or caregiver and the child. It is a parent's responsibility to teach sign language. It will help the communication and also strengthen up the parent-child relationship. And with my own experiences, my daughter Kinley, who is now 13 months old, had a stroke when she was born. And the stroke caused brain damage. The part that was affected were her speech and her mobility control center. She was doing miraculously well with her mobility. She was only put into speech therapy just because of that. Kinley improved faster than we thought. She completed the first half of her therapy in 6 months, with another 6 months to go. Wanting to give her a goal, her therapist suggested sign language. And therefore, one day when she wanted milk, she went and grabbed the formula and her bottle out of her bag and brought it to me. And which meant to me that she knew what she knew what she wanted to tell me. And after the first 2 weeks of trying to teach her sign language, she signed the word more, which is like this, but she doesn't like this. And so her being able to communicate with me is amazing. And but me being able to understand her is the warm-hearted feeling that every parent should have. So I suggest every parent to teach their toddler sign language. Thank you for listening.